Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Niall Buchanan with Broadcom, and I'd like to welcome you to our session today on the topic of NetMaster Security Center and RoadMap. Lots of new and exciting advancements taking place, and the focus of our session today is secure connections. If you have any questions during the webcast, please feel free to submit those through the chat window. We'll be having a live Q&A session at the end. And don't forget to fill in your feedback form and contribute to the charity. And with that, I'd like to turn things over now to our speaker, Paul Schuler from Broadcom. Paul?
Thanks, Niall. Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Schuler. I'm the product manager for NetMaster. Today I'll be sharing some potential product futures and tentative timelines. These are subject to change. I have a lot of content to share with you today about NetMaster and what the product team has been working on, and I want to thank everyone for taking the time to join us. If you're new to NetMaster, welcome. NetMaster is Broadcom's mainframe network management solution. It provides comprehensive tools to monitor, manage, and diagnose your mainframe network. NetMaster is designed not only for network engineers, but it can support your operations, systems programmers, and developers. An interesting new persona that we've discovered is that of someone who's focused on network security. I'll talk a little bit later about some of the work we've done and are doing in the network security space. NetMaster's been around for 37 years, and we're working hard to chart the path to the next 40. Broadcom has invested heavily into the future of NetMaster. In the last year, we've literally doubled the size of our development team. This means that we've been able to accelerate the pace of our product enhancements, and more importantly, it's allowed us to take a fresh look at what has historically been a part of the network management toolkit. We're rethinking what modern network management really should be. Our focus is on our customers, and our goal is to provide you powerful, easy-to-use solutions that you can use to keep your enterprises up and running. Throughout the presentation today, I'm going to highlight some opportunities for you to engage with us. These are not empty offers. We would like you to engage with us so that you can learn, so that we can learn what your pain points are and how we can help. There are a number of ways you can get involved. Our Broadcom community site is a great place to ask questions, submit ideas, and give feedback to the development team. Registering for our validation program gives you access to live demos of development in progress, early release access to features in development, and more importantly, a means to have your voice be heard by the development team and to help us shape the features we're working on before they're released. Information on how to get involved with us will be provided near the end of the presentation. So here's a high-level look at our roadmap. On the left is a list of items we've delivered over the last year. The middle column focuses on things that we are either working on or planning for release in the coming year. And on the right, you can find some items that we're investigating, potentially for future inclusion in the product in the next few years. Let's take a closer look at what we've delivered over the course of the last year. At a high level, we've released 12.2 as GA. We announced our support for continuous delivery, and we've published a long list of enhancement to NetMaster features like Smart Trace and the IP growth tracker, as well as the numerous enhancements to the base product. We'll look at each of these in turn. The NetMaster 12.2 release enabled a lot of new functionality. Most notably in this release was our support for ZERT, which provides detailed information on the encryption characteristics of traffic crossing your network. But there were also improvements in our web interface. We simplified the install experience, and we added integration with Broadcom's mainframe operational intelligence, which provides advanced machine learning capabilities to understand anomalies in your network. We also revised and enhanced our documentation as part of the release, and that's work that continues to this day. Since the GA, we've been busy enhancing the product. I'm proud to say that nearly all of the functionality you see on this page came as a result of customer submitted ideas. We've added numerous enhancements to Smart Trace, including increasing the maximum size of a Smart Trace, the ability to view traces cross-system, and even the ability to merge Smart Traces from different systems together into a single view that can be analyzed all in one place. We've added data tracing to NetMaster's toolbox as well, and have made a number of enhancements to our event detector facility. Additionally, we've added support for the latest OSA hardware and enhanced the product to support TLS 1.3, which came in with ZOS 2.4. We also announced NetMaster's support of continuous delivery. This is an initiative across all of Broadcom's mainframe offerings, and its goal is to simplify the maintenance process for our customers and to provide consistency across all products in the way maintenance and new features are delivered. Continuous delivery puts control back in your hands on when new features become active in NetMaster, and it allows us to deliver new features and functionality faster so that we can better meet your needs. Let's take a look ahead at some of the features we're either working on or investigating further for possible release in the coming year. I'm excited to share these with you, and I think they're going to show not only our commitment to you as our customers, but will reflect our vision for NetMaster down the road. Here's an overview of what we have underway. Again, I'll take a deeper dive through each of these shortly. NetMaster Security Center is a new offering we're developing. It's focused around network security, and our aim is to provide you the ability to both see the encryption and security status of your mainframe network at a glance, as well as to drill down deeply into the data so that you can gain a clear understanding of your network and any vulnerabilities you might have. Network Center will be the successor to our older web interface, which was called MTC-NM. We're building Network Center from the ground up with the goal of making it customizable for your needs, with the ability to create views for not only network professionals, but also for operations, sysprogs, or software developers. Network Center will be more feature capable than MTC-NM was, and is designed to be simple to install, configure, and use. The third item on this list we've already actually delivered as a feature PTF for NetMaster. You can now use the IP growth tracker to analyze the network traffic of your defined business applications over time. It's quite a nice feature, and I hope you take a few minutes to try it out. We've heard from a number of customers a desire to get access to NetMaster's data and functionality from outside the product. As such, we're working to develop into NetMaster the ability to expose its functions and data via standard APIs. This will not only allow you to easily extract network data for analysis in the reporting or analysis tool of your choice, but will also enable better integration between Broadcom products. ZOSMF provisioning is our next item. We actually already have some ZOSMF workflows available now as a pre-release beta to members of our validation program. We have 2 ZOSMF workflows underway, and their goal is to ease the development and configuration process for the NetMaster products using a simple web interface. We're also working with the Broadcom MRI team to develop a NetMaster software solutions report. This will help you understand not only which versions and where you have NetMaster deployed, but can also tell you how each is configured, provide best practice recommendations, and also help you understand what features of the product you are using, and recommend others you might find useful. And we've been working hard to create new training modules for NetMaster. We now have 9 self-paced web-based training modules available today. They cover the spectrum from the very basics of how to navigate through the product through advanced product administration. We're providing these training modules free of charge to our customers, and we encourage everyone to take advantage of them. I'm also happy to announce that we've created a digital badge program around these training modules. If you pass the test, you gain access to a digital badge, which signifies your level of NetMaster mastery and can be included in your LinkedIn profile, Facebook page, or your email signature. Let's look a little bit closer at Security Center. When I talk to customers about this, I ask 2 questions. The first is, who is nervous about the state of their mainframe's network security? I usually get a lot of people who nod their heads at that one. And the second question I ask is, who knows where the vulnerabilities in their network are and what you should be focusing on first? And I usually get a little bit less response to that one. Security Center's aim is to provide you with just the kind of information. How is my mainframe network secured, and where am I vulnerable? Where do I need to focus my attention to make sure that my company's data and that of my customers is safe? Our goal is to make Security Center a rich resource of information about network security and to make it customizable, so you can have one view for your network engineers and another for your auditors. Sourcing data from both the network and from Xert, we can quickly show you at a glance if you are using short keys, old ciphers, or have an unexpected spike in unsecured traffic. We also give you the ability to drill down into that data to see specific details down to the connection level. I'll take you through a more detailed look at Security Center in the second half of this presentation. Network Center is our next generation web interface for NetMaster. While we plan to begin releasing Network Center in 12.2, our eventual plans are to replace our older web interface MTCNM completely with Network Center in the next version of NetMaster, which will be 13.0. Network Center will be a powerful, easy to use, and flexible interface, designed to show you your network data in the way you want to see it, as well as to give you access to all the tools that NetMaster provides. Our long-term goal with Network Center will be to get it to feature parity with the 3270 interface. But don't worry, the 3270 isn't going anywhere. Our hope is that if you prefer the web interface, that you'll be able to do anything that you can do in the 3270 while taking advantage of the enhanced visualizations that are just available in a web interface. If you prefer the 3270, of course, it'll still be there as it is today, and you'll have all the functionality of NetMaster at your fingertips. API enabling NetMaster will enable you to utilize the full scope of the network data, diagnostic tools, and analytics capabilities of NetMaster in your own applications. We will be Zoe conformant and integrate fully with the Zoe API gateway to simplify the use of the NetMaster API endpoints. This capability will allow you to export network data into any analysis or reporting tool, which will give you the ability to easily visualize and analyze that data. This API capability will also allow tighter integration between Broadcom products. We'd like to hear from you what your needs are on our API endpoints for NetMaster so that we can prioritize what types of data or functionality you need first. We all know how time-consuming and painful installation and maintenance of mainframe products can be. Our goal with ZOSMF is to simplify the installation and configuration of NetMaster. We're in the process of developing workflows that we hope will do just that right now. And as I mentioned, we have two available pre-release testing workflows in our validation program. The first allows deployment and configuration of the NetMaster products using the simple, easy-to-use ZOSMF web interface. The second will assist you in refreshing your runtime environment after maintenance has been applied. We found a significant reduction in the effort required for rolling out software using this method. If you would like to try them out, we're looking for feedback to see how we've done and if there's any suggestions for making them better. We've also been working with our MRI team to develop the NetMaster Software Solutions Report. This tool will allow NetMaster customers to generate an analysis of the NetMaster regions running in their environment, and will give you an overview on whether those installations are up to date on maintenance or not. It will analyze your NetMaster configuration and recommend configuration changes that may enhance performance, security, or in general make the product easier to use. It will also analyze your usage of the product and make recommendations on features of the product that may be underused or that you may find useful. This report will be available to customers at no cost, and we hope you will find it a powerful tool to help you get the most out of NetMaster. And finally, we've been working hard to create the new training curriculum for NetMaster. We have 9 courses available now: product navigation, network diagnostics, packet tracing, monitoring your network, customizer overview, UAMs, business application overview, intro to event detectors, and advanced administration. These courses are provided at no cost to customers and can build upon each other to give you the knowledge you need to effectively use the product. Additionally, we've released our first digital badge for NetMaster, the NetMaster Foundations badge. This badge is earned upon completion of a rigorous test that evaluates your product knowledge, and upon successful completion, will earn you the rights to a digital badge that certifies your knowledge of NetMaster. This is the first of a series of badges that we'll be releasing over the next year. We hope you take advantage of these resources And if there's anything that you want to know that isn't covered in our training, please reach out and let us know, and we'll see about expanding our learning catalog. I know we've covered a lot of ground there, but it really shows that the investment of Broadcom into NetMaster is paying off. Let's take a look down the road a little bit and discuss some things that we're considering for the future. These are some items that we're either configuring or building some POCs around. Here again, we really do need your input into whether these concepts are something that we should be moving forward with, or just as importantly, are not something that we should be spending our time on. Let us know what you think as I talk through them. One of the things that we've heard from customers is that data silos no longer make sense. Network data isn't just network data. It has usefulness outside the scope of traditional network performance or management roles. One example that we're considering comes from Broadcom's storage management customers, who struggle while diagnosing issues with storage devices to determine if the problem is a storage problem or is actually a network problem. They spend a lot of time doing in-depth troubleshooting, only to find that the problem isn't actually a storage issue at all, but is instead network related. One idea might be to build in a NetMaster some capability to do a quick analysis of the data available, make a determination as to whether the network is the culprit or not, and be able to provide that analysis in an easily consumable way for either the storage team or the network team to then take the next steps towards fixing the issue. This would reduce the time spent researching and tossing the issue back and forth between teams, and is one example of a way that we're looking to integrate more tightly with other Broadcom offerings. Other ways we're looking to integrate with our fellow Broadcom products include sharing data between NetMaster and several of the security offerings. This might expose some insights into not only what is going across your network, but who is doing it, and from a security standpoint, what are they doing? An example might be the ability to trap abnormal network activity from a user, such as a file transfer made outside of normal working hours, or attempting to access a port that's normally reserved to application user IDs. We're also exploring additional integrations between Broadcom's automation and performance offerings. The next concept we're exploring is whether or not it would be useful to track NetMaster's system resource utilization down to the feature level. Today, it's pretty easy to see what resources NetMaster is using as a whole, but providing additional insights into the product's performance at a feature level might give customers a deeper view into how the individual tools within NetMaster are performing. This would allow you to identify and address any configuration or performance issues. And finally, we've been working with Broadcom's data analytics teams to explore what kind of enhanced data analysis we might create for NetMaster to assist with the identification of common network issues and perhaps offer automated solutions for known problems. This would free network teams from performing mundane tasks so they can focus on higher priority issues or those issues requiring more analysis. Initially, we're looking at analyzing network traffic data and network device performance data to see if we can identify any precursor signals that might indicate that a larger problem is imminent. We're also looking at adding some advanced analytical capabilities to Security Center so that we might identify traffic that would point to a potential vulnerability or perhaps even an imminent attack from a network perspective. These ideas are in the early stages of exploration. If any of these items or anything we've covered today resonate with you, we'd like to either learn more or talk with you about how we can help you. Please engage with us through either our community site or our validation program. We're also looking for interested customers to join what we're calling our NetMaster Advisory Council, which we envision as a group of invested NetMaster users who meet with us quarterly to help us understand how you use the product, what struggles you face day to day, and advise us on the development that we have underway to ensure that we continue to make NetMaster the network management tool of choice far into the future. So this concludes the roadmap portion of the presentation. I'd like to take a deeper dive now into our new offering, Security Center. So what is Security Center? Security Center is a new offering that we've been developing to augment and extend the mainframe network security data that is presented by NetMaster today. We've been hard at work building a brand new infrastructure from the ground up to host this new application using modern web design and tooling. At its heart, Security Center is a web-based GUI capable of combining Xert data and detailed network data into a simple-to-use and highly configurable interface, whose main goal is to make it simple to view and understand the encryption status of your network traffic and the overall security status of your mainframe network. Using detailed connection and network resource data, metrics, and Xert, Security Center will provide a flexible and highly customizable interface to let you quickly and at a glance view the security stance of your mainframe of your network from a single location. This interface is designed not only for network professionals, but will also be customizable for multiple teams within your organization. You might have one view of Security Center for audit-focused team members and another for network engineers, sysprogs, application developers, operations, or even management. One of the design goals we have set ourselves is that you should be able to view the data you care about in the format that makes the most sense to you. Security Center should provide that information in an easy to understand format that quickly gets you the answers you need the most. Talking to customers like yourselves, we've heard your heightened concern about mainframe network security. You've told us that attacks on the mainframe are increasing and that almost all hack attacks are network related. Because of that, there's a need for new and powerful tools to help identify issues, drill down into the data, because there's a lot of it, and to see how automation can lighten the load, not to mention close skill gap issues. And it's not surprising you've been sharing those thoughts with us. If we look at cybercrime statistics, it's obvious that the network is indeed a key vector for cyber attacks, that the largest attacks were dependent on the network to get the hacker to that data that they were looking for, and that the pace of attacks is not only increasing, but are increasingly relevant to network management teams. The stark reality is that it takes on average 279 days to identify and contain a data breach. Look at these numbers, that's 206 days, over 6 months, to even realize that a breach occurred, and another 73 days to contain that breach. Worldwide, the average cost of a breach is $3.9 million. In the US, it's higher, with the average cost exceeding $8 million. These numbers predate GDPR, so the cost of that legislation has not been accounted for in these numbers. Seeing all of that, we know that there's still quite a lot to do regarding network security. Too often, the very data needed to understand causal relationships between an incident and the methodology used to implement the attack are buried in data which exists in multiple locations, making the job of identifying and understanding attempts to compromise network security complex. And oftentimes this is done as an after-the-fact analysis done by forensics. What was needed was a way to address these issues by combining network data with Xert data and eventually data from security domains, allowing for quick mapping of network traffic to specific attacks. This allows teams to move from post-mortem analysis to a highly reactive and eventually proactive prevention stance. Getting the ability to access data from numerous sources, which typically reside in siloed domains. Having sophisticated analytical capabilities to process data in a timely manner. And having a way to quickly and easily identify potential issues and drill down into the data. A product that has integration with other mainframe security systems and applications. One with interfaces which allow security teams to easily connect the dots by surfacing non-obvious relationships and correlation of data points from many domains. Dealing with increased information density, giving you a situational overview at a glance, and providing automation to reduce workload on network security teams, which allows them to focus on the highest priority issues and ignore the noise. Talking to customers, we were able to create a number of use cases illustrating the need for network engineers, information security team members, and really anyone with a vested interest in monitoring and managing network security to have a tool to help them stay on top of possible incidents while enabling them to drill down deep down into a current event to understand characteristics of the attack that could help identify the vulnerability that was being exploited and perhaps even the source. Pardon me. In this use case, we're looking at things from a network engineer's perspective. In this case, Debbie. A security incident has occurred, and Debbie is contacted by the information security team. They're requesting as much network traffic and security data as Debbie can provide. This is no trivial task. Debbie has to access numerous resources to get the data the InfoSec team is most interested in, which can reside in numerous locations such as SMF records, logs, or even vSAM datasets. After she compiles all the data together, the info security team then has to parse through all that data and correlate traffic and events detected to the incident in question. This is further complicated by the fact that simple things like date and time stamp formats are dependent on the source of the data, which requires transformations that only makes the process take more time. And if the InfoSec team is able to match an incident to network traffic, they'll come back to Debbie to require finer-grained information about that traffic. Information that could have been useful during the initial analysis, such as the encryption on a connection using an out-of-date algorithm with a key length that was shown to be hacked years ago. In such a case, superficially, the traffic looked secure, but it was in fact compromised. The back and forth between Debbie and the InfoSec team eats up many hours and days as they go back and forth to dig into the data. Now contrast that with what a solution is designed to provide insight into network security could provide. First, taking advantage of mature capabilities within mainframe network monitoring solutions, alerts could be triggered to detect things like out-of-date algorithms or key bit lengths that are out of compliance. Since this solution would be pulling data from multiple sources and compiling it into a single place, Debbie, or even better, the InfoSec team themselves, could access the relevant data and quickly drill down into the details. Since the solution would also offer the ability to export the compiled data, information security teams who want to use their own analytical tools can easily access and pull the data that they need from a single location. This data collection could be automated to ensure that the data was collected and made available upon detection of a network security incident. By automating the detection of an event, the system can even trigger actions within an automation script to quickly deny the attacker access to the vector that they were trying to exploit in real time. At the end of the day, this would present network engineers like Debbie and the information security team members a one-stop shop for network security information, insights, and management. And that's what we're striving to deliver with Security Center. So this is a view of Security Center's main page, what we're calling the connections homepage. These graphs are shipped with the product by default, one for each encryption algorithm and version. These graphs will display either a bar chart for data of 14 days or less, or a line chart for any greater length of data. You'll have the ability to create additional graphs based upon things like application name, stack, cipher suite, local and foreign hosts, port numbers, task names, and connection type. These charts can be toggled on or off per user, and views will be persistent across logins. This view shows you the total number of connections today that match the criteria of the panel, as well as the history of how many connections have occurred in the past. This view makes it quite easy to see at a glance what has occurred and what is happening right now in your network. In fact, you can see that there is an unusually large spike in the number of unsecured connections today. To diagnose this, we can go to Security Center's tabular views and drill down more. This is the connection summary view. It consists of a series of tabular data views, giving details of the current active connections on your system. What you see here are the default tabs that will ship with the product. And again, these tabs will be modifiable per user, and new ones can be created to both summarize the list of connections by an attribute, as well as to filter the summarized list. For instance, you could have a tab that aggregates connections by application, and then have it filtered down to a specific subnet. Clicking on a row in this view will drill you down into a list of connections that match that row's criteria. As you can already see, I can see why my unsecured connection count is high. There's an application named benload_test that has a large number of active unsecured connections. Clicking on that row, we can drill down into the details, into the filtered connection details for that application. And this is that connection list, which gives you more detail about the connections we saw on the prior page. Here I can see that these unsecured connections are all in one specific CICS region and which business application that they belong to. You can drill down even further into the details for a specific connection by double-clicking on one of the connections. And here are those connection details. You can see how Security Center allowed me to quickly identify an anomalous condition, drill down into the data to troubleshoot what the source of the anomaly was, and to easily navigate to the low-level detail on a specific connection. It literally took 4 clicks of the mouse to do so. Security Center will be a separately licensed product under the NetMaster family. Its first release will be Security Center 12.2 to match up with the version numbering of the other NetMaster suite products. We plan to release Security Center as an option to NetMaster 12.2 early next year. This initial release of Security Center is what we call an MVP, or minimally valuable product. Our initial release is going to meet that description pretty accurately, minimally valuable. What that means is that it's going to have enough utility that you can feel confident in installing and using it. But more importantly, it'll give you a chance to kick the tires, tell us what we got right, tell us what we got wrong, and tell us what might be missing from the product. Your feedback ensures that the next steps we take are the right ones, the ones that bring the most value to you. The initial release will be as a feature PTF to NetMaster 12.2 and will require NetMaster to function. When we release NetMaster 13.0, you'll see Security Center become a standalone product that can either run with or without NetMaster. Our initial goals are to display, filter, and summarize over time the encryption characteristics of connections on your network. Longer term, we have some thoughts to expand into historical data, analysis, and thresholding, threat detection, and perhaps some cyber forensics capabilities within the product as well. We need your input to know where to focus first. We're looking for partners to aid us on this journey. If you're concerned about mainframe network security, then we ask that you get involved with us. Join our Validate program so you can let us know your concerns, your needs, and what issues you're facing so that we can help. We'd be happy to give you a live demo of Security Center or any of our NetMaster products. And if you want to, here's some details about where you can contact us. Here's our community links, our validation link, or our validation program site, and my email address. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, comments, concerns, anything. And with that, I hope you found this content useful, and I think I speak for the whole NetMaster team when I say thank you very much for your time and attention. Thank you for all your feedback, ideas, and the time you spend out of your busy days with us.